IST 302, Team 5's final presentation on Scrum. Team 5 is made up of Keith Dunling, Information Security Officer in Healthcare, from Cleveland, Ohio, pursuing a BS in Security and Risk Analysis; William Ganley, continuing education student, from Cherry Hill, New Jersey, AS in Business Administration from PSU's World Campus, pursuing a BS in IST; and Logan Miko, senior at University Park Campus from Carlisle, PA, pursuing a BS in IST with a focus in development. What is Scrum? Scrum is a method of organizing a project. It's a framework for defining roles and organizing work. It's iterative and incremental approach to tasks. The name has its origins in the game of rugby when the group works as a team to advance the ball. It's versatile. It can be used for IT, software, family vacations, any kind of project that needs organization. There are 3 principles of Scrum: transparency, inspection, and adaptation. Transparency plays a role in making sure that the process in place are visible to the people who are responsible for the outcome of those processes. Inspection is the frequent assessment of the progress being made. This assessment is done so that the leaders of the project can make sure the project is on track to accomplish its goals, as well as detecting problems so they can be corrected. Adaptation is the final principle and is there to fix the problems that were detected in the last principle to get the project back on track. The history of Scrum. In the early 1990s, the Scrum process was conceived by Jeff Sutherland and Ken Schwaber. In 1995, Scrum was codified and presented at OOPSLA conference in Austin, Texas. It was also published in a paper titled Scrum Software Development Process. Scrum was then utilized and revised further after being used by multiple companies such as Fidelity Investments, Individual Incorporated, and IDX, which later went on to become GE Medical. In February 2001, Jeff Sutherland and Ken Schwaber took part in the creation of the Manifesto for Agile Software Development. Later, the Agile Alliance was formed, and Ken Schwaber served as the first chairman. In 2001, Ken Schwaber worked with Mike Beal to co-author a book on Scrum. The following year, Ken founds the Scrum Alliance with Mike Cohn and Esther Derby and serves as the first chairman for the Alliance. Following the creation of the Scrum Alliance, the Certified Scrum Master Program certification program is created. In 2006, Jeff Sutherland started Scrum Inc. to further the Scrum development process. Ken Schwaber left the Scrum Alliance in 2009 and started Scrum.org to continue working on the development of Scrum. The official Scrum Development Guide was first published in 2010 and later updated in 2011 and 2013. Who is who in Scrum? Scrum is made up of stakeholders, a Scrum Master, a product owner, and a development team. The stakeholders are the internal or external benefactors to the project. The product owner is responsible for setting the goals and the product vision, creates the product roadmap, and responsible for the what and the when of the project. The Scrum Master is responsible for the processes of the project. He removes impediments to team progress. The development team is ideally a 5 to 9 member team responsible for the how and the how much of the project. Running a Scrum project. The initial phase of Scrum process is the vision phase. Customer and the product team determine desired features and objectives that will be targeted. This is story development for the project. The next phase is release planning. It's focused on creating manageable segments that will be the target of the activities or sprints. Sprint planning is focused on logistical execution of each sprint to achieve the segment or unit of work identified in the release planning phase. A sprint is the execution of tasks to complete work units or objectives required to move the project forward. Daily Scrum meetings are held to drive actions between resources and break obstacles to completing each piece. Sprint review is a meeting to determine what features or segments of work have been completed and are ready for release or deployment. This also identifies the task or the units of work that need to go through the Scrum cycle for inclusion and development. The retrospective stage covers pieces of information that have been learned through the Scrum process that may have been previously unknown. These retrospective pieces of information are combined with feedback from the Scrum regarding additional components needed and are fed back into the Scrum process. Deployment is the release of code and or functionality into production for the use by the customer. Who's using Scrum? Scrum is being used by people with very complex projects. The nature of Scrum allows it to take on complex projects with ease. Also, Scrum is being used by teams that have a large list of tasks to complete for the project. Teams looking to improve teamwork or communication, as well as teams looking for faster results, can use Scrum as well. Some examples of companies that are using Scrum are Amazon, Microsoft, Salesforce, Intel, and Yahoo, as well as many others. In summary, Scrum is a method for organizing a project that was created in the early 1990s by Jeff Sutherland and Ken Schwaber. Scrum's iterative and incremental approach to tasks increases teamwork, communication, and yields faster results. Following the stages of Scrum creates visibility for all involved and makes organizing large projects much easier, which is what it is used by so many today. Sources are available upon request.